Alright, let's kick things off with Best Drama, because if there's one category that always brings the drama, it's this one. We've got Lovely Runner, The Tale of Lady OK, Doubt, The Trauma Code, and When Life Gives You Tangerines. And let me just say, some of these picks, totally expected. Others, I'm side-eyeing hard. Let's start with Lovely Runner. Was it adorable? Yes. Did it serve up time travel butterflies and secondhand Y2K nostalgia? Absolutely. But Best Drama? That's where I hesitate. It feels more like a fan service fever dream than an all-around powerhouse. It's writing vibes more than craft, and it shows. Then there's Doubt, which surprised me. It wasn't a disaster or anything, but if you're talking edge-of-your-seat intensity, Connection deserved that spot hands down. And Blackout? Grittier, riskier, way more distinctive. Both got totally snubbed, and I'm not over it. When Life Gives You Tangerines. Yeah, we get it. Artsy, emotional, drenched in metaphors. It's the kind of drama critics salivate over, even if it's not exactly binge-friendly. Like, it's gorgeous, but you gotta be in the mood to suffer with a capital S. And then there's The Trauma Code, Netflix's obligatory entry. I'm usually hit or miss with medical dramas, but I'll give it this. It had heart, high stakes, and a cast that carried harder than they probably needed to. Still, did it blow me away? Not quite, but it's a crowd pleaser, and Baeksang loves a crowd pleaser. Now let's talk Best Actor, aka the category where things get real personal and also where I start flipping tables. We've got Park Bo-gum for When Life Gives You Tangerines, Byun Woo-suk for Lovely Runner, Lee Jun-hyuk for Dong-jae, Ju Ji-hoon for The Trauma Code, and Han Suk-kyu for Doubt. First off, where is Byun Yo-han? I'm sorry, but Blackout was a one-man tension fest. The man practically sweated anxiety on screen. Complex, raw, unpredictable, he carried that drama on his back. If we're talking pure acting, he should have been a lock. I'd swap him in over Byun Woo-suk without hesitation. And look, I love Byun Woo-suk. He was a revelation in Lovely Runner. He had charm, sincerity, and gave a performance that made people feel things. But if we're being brutally honest, this nomination feels more like a reward for the drama's viral popularity than the performance itself. He was good, but Best Actor good? In this lineup? It's a stretch. And then there's Ji-sung. Don't even get me started. Actually, do. Because Connection was one of his best performances in years. Controlled, haunting, emotional without ever tipping into melodrama. But no nom? Nothing? It's giving Baeksang blind spot syndrome. If I had the power, he'd be in Han Suk-kyu's spot. Now don't get me wrong, Han Suk-kyu is a legend. I bow to the man. But Doubt didn't give him enough material to flex with. Felt like watching a Ferrari stuck in traffic. He did what he could, but there just wasn't enough meat there to justify this nomination. Park Bo-gum? A solid choice. Tangerines let him play soft and sensitive, and he delivered. But let's be honest, it wasn't his drama. It's more like a IU's drama, and he is also along for the ride. Now Lee Jun-hyuk? No complaints. Dong-jae was his playground, and he devoured every scene. That role was a tightrope walk. Easily could have tipped into caricature, but he kept it grounded, magnetic, and just a little bit terrifying. He earned that nom. Ju Ji-hoon? As always, pure charisma. He brought intensity and authority to The Trauma Code. But was the drama strong enough to carry him into winner territory? Great actor, mid-level script. But yeah, Byun Yo-han and Ji-sung not making this list? That hurts. Like physically. I need a moment. Now let's get into Best Actress, aka the category that's absolutely stacked. Like, it hurts how stacked this is. We've got Go Min-si for The Frog, Kim Tae-ri for Jonghyun, Kim Ha-yoon for Lovely Runner, IU for When Life Gives You Tangerines, and Jang Nara for Good Partner. Starting with Go Min-si, yes. Finally. She's been hovering in that underrated queen zone for years, and The Frog gave her the gritty, emotional, career-defining moment she's always deserved. She went deep. That performance wasn't just good, it was visceral. A total triumph. Now Kim Tae-ri, what even is her ceiling? Every time she shows up, she reinvents herself. But Jonghyun? That was next level. The gukjuk scenes alone had me frozen. She wasn't just playing a role. She became it. And the fact that she trained vocally for 3 years? That's not just commitment, that's artistry. Give her the crown. Again. I don't care that she's won before. This isn't kindergarten, we're not taking turns. She earned it. Kim Hae-yoon. I'm so happy for her. She lit up Lovely Runner with that mix of chaos and heart. Her timing, her range, her everything. It was a joy to watch. But let's be real for a second. Is this nomination more about the drama's pop culture grip or the performance itself? Because while she was great, this category is a bloodbath, and I don't know if she had the same gravity as the others. This one's a bit of a wild card. She brought real depth to Tangerines, no doubt. Some scenes? Brutal. You could see the growth in her craft. But was it a performance that defines a career? Yes, it was. Was it better than Kim Tae-ri? That's a video someone better than me should make. Still, if she takes it, I won't be mad. Just don't make us wait another 5 years for the next drama. Please. I'm begging. And then there's Jang Nara, the quiet powerhouse. She never misses. Ever. Good partner, VIP, the last empress. She's been killing it for decades, and somehow still hasn't taken home this award? That's criminal. She's the underdog in this race. But if she wins, it's long overdue. That said, my heart might want someone new to get the spotlight, but my gut is screaming Kim Tae-ri. She didn't just raise the bar, she launched it into the stratosphere. If Baeksang is about excellence, about losing yourself in a role and leaving a mark, she's the one to beat. Alright, look, I've tried to be objective, I've broken down the nominees, I've played the cool, calm critic role, but now I need to drop the pretense and get real. Unfiltered. Unapologetically biased. Where the hell is Ji-sung? Like seriously, how does someone deliver a performance as gut-wrenching, emotionally scorched, and perfectly restrained as he did in Connection and get nothing? Not a nomination. Not a mention. Crickets. He played a drug-addicted detective on the edge of sanity and somehow made it feel grounded, human, real. There were no theatrics, just raw, layered acting that hit like a freight train. What more do you want from a man? Should he have parachuted into the Baeksang office's mid-scene, tears streaming down his face, delivering a monologue while solving a murder? And let's be honest, this isn't the first time. No Love for the Devil Judge, where he played a morally gray anti-hero so well it made you root for literal corruption. Nothing for the Defendant, where he spent half the drama emotionally shredded and still delivered a courtroom masterclass. It's like Ji-sung's excellence is so consistent they've started taking him for granted. And yeah, I'll own it, I'm biased as hell. He's my favorite actor. I've watched his work like I'm preparing a dissertation. I could break down a single eyebrow raise and tell you what it meant in context. But even without the bias, let's be honest, Connection was Baeksang nomination material. At the very least. If someone else had done what Ji-sung did in Connection, they'd be on that Best Actor list without a second thought. But because it's Ji-sung, it's like, oh, of course he's good. No. Not okay. This man deserves his moment, and this year, the panel seriously dropped the ball. Alright, now that I've screamed into the void about Ji-sung, let's pivot to something slightly more joyful who I actually want to see win. Let's talk Best Actress. For me, it's Kim Tae-ri. Hands down. No debate. The woman is a force. She doesn't just play a character, she inhabits it, embodies it, and then leaves everyone else in the dust. If you watch Jonghyun, you know what I'm talking about. The gukjuk scenes alone? Goosebumps. Her voice, her physicality, the sheer commitment, insane. She trained for years to get it right, and it shows. This wasn't just a performance, it was a masterclass. But can we also take a second to shout out Go Min-si? The frog may not have been mainstream flashy, but her performance was raw, unfiltered, and straight up brilliant. She gave everything, and I mean everything. She deserves a standing ovation and maybe even a surprise win? Let her snatch the trophy and take a bow. She earned it. Now Best Actor, this one's tricky. Joo Ji-hoon? He delivered, no question. He brought the brooding intensity to the trauma code and made it work. But real talk, I kinda feel like his role in Light Shop was the one that should have been recognized. He was chilling, layered, and absolutely magnetic in that. Still, I'm not mad. He's here, and that's a win. And then there's Park Bo-gum. Look, I get it, he's beloved, he's charming, he's basically Korea's sweetheart. But if we're keeping it real, when life gives you tangerines is IU's show. He's there sometimes. He's good, but not standout. And yet, because the drama's riding this unstoppable wave of hype, he's in the running. Like, okay. But if he wins over someone like Joo Ji-hoon or, let's be honest, Ji-sung if he'd been nominated like he should have been, I'm flipping a table. Alright, let's be brutally honest here, when life gives you tangerines is probably gonna sweep. Like everything. Best drama, best actor, best actress, probably best lighting, best use of a fruit metaphor, all of it. I cannot stress how unhinged the obsession is. I've seen people calling it the greatest K-drama of all time. Of all time. Like, what are we doing? Let's take a breath. It's a drama, not a medical breakthrough. Nobody's getting healed here, Karen. And listen, it's not bad. It's decent. It's got its moments. But am I worshipping at the altar of tangerines like the rest of the internet? Absolutely not. In fact, my inner contrarian is kinda praying it loses every single category just for the drama. I want chaos. I want Twitter in flames. I want fan forums in meltdown mode. Give me that content. But let's not kid ourselves, awards aren't always about quality. Half the time, it's a glorified popularity contest. And right now, Tangerines is the prom queen, the class president, and the kid who brought snacks to school all in one. So yeah, it's probably gonna win. Let's just accept it, brace for impact, and prepare our fake surprise faces. And that's the 61st Baeksang Arts Awards nominee list, aka the usual mix of solid wins, painful snubs, and a few choices that make me question reality. But before we wrap up, let's take a moment for The Fallen. Connection? Left out in the cold. That show had grit, suspense, and Ji-sung acting like his life depended on it. And Blackout? Criminally underrated. Byun-Yohan carried that drama like a man possessed, and we just moved on? Really? A shop for killers? Hello? Stylish, violent, emotionally rich, and Baeksang said no thanks. Your Honor got one nomination for new actor and that's it? I'm calling the police. Oh, and while we're at it, shout out to The Pyramid Game and The Atypical Family, smaller shows but wildly creative. They may not have cracked the lineup, but they're 100% worth your time. Don't let Baeksang sleep on them, and don't you sleep on them either. Anyway, I've ranted enough, your turn. What snubs made your blood boil? What noms made you go, huh? And are you also rooting for chaos on awards night? Sound off in the comments and I'll see you next time.